MKUltra was real, alright. There's no theories there. The question that caught my attention was, why now? Why are we having congressional hearings again? And why are people suddenly talking about it again? Why does it seem like this old ghost keeps wandering back into the conversation every 20 years or so? You all know me. Whenever something like that happens, I get curious. Sometimes a little too curious. I'll start following one rabbit trail. That rabbit trail finds another rabbit trail. Pretty soon I'm 6 hours deep into government archives, historical interviews, and declassified memorandums, wondering how in the world I got there. Bean just looking at me wanting supper, and Diogenes somewhere snoring on the bed like the whole world's at peace. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here surrounded by coffee cups and open tabs, asking myself, what in the world is going on? Now, before we get too serious, let's have just a little fun with this. Because if you spend any amount of time wandering around the internet, and let's be honest, if you're listening to this episode, there's a pretty decent chance you have, you know that MKUltra has almost become its own genre. Mention the name and watch what happens. Somebody immediately starts talking about celebrities. Somebody else starts talking about sleeper agents. And then that one guy brings up frequencies. Another fella says it's the satellites. Before long, somebody's convinced every famous person on television has been programmed like a wind-up toy. Then another guy says everybody else is a government bot. And then there's that one individual that accuses the bots of being controlled by artificial intelligence. Which, come to think of it, is probably what the bots would want us to think. See? We ain't even 10 minutes into the conversation, and we're already chuckling a little bit. Because that's what happens with this subject. It snowballs. And I reckon there's a reason for that. MKUltra has become bigger than the historical program itself. It's become almost mythical. Not mythical in the sense that it never happened, quite the opposite. It happened. That's exactly why it's become mythic. Because every generation seems to rediscover it. Every generation attaches their own fears to it. Every generation says, maybe this explains what's happening today. And honestly, I understand why. Because here's the uncomfortable part. Every now and then, one of those old conspiracy theories turns out not to be a conspiracy theory after all. Not every one of them. Lord knows there are plenty that belong in the trash heap. Some are built on misunderstandings, some are built on fear. A lot of them are just built on people trying to make a dollar selling books or clicks. And some are just plain wingnut nonsense. But every once in a great while, history taps us on the shoulder and quietly says, actually, that part really happened. MKUltra is one of those. Now notice what I didn't say. I didn't say that every story attached to MKUltra is true. Far from it. People have attached enough stories to that program over the last 50 years to fill up a small library. Some of them are most likely true.